So I got these results for my A-levels, which helped me graduate high school 1 year early. Here's everything I did and everything I've learned about studying, which has helped me throughout high school and university, which helped me transform from this like procrastinating little YouTube addicted little child to someone who's ultra productive and super onto it. This is every tip which I've learned, which will help you lock in for your exams. The first thing which has helped me so much, which you probably haven't heard about, is fasting, and also pairing that with waking up early. So fasting is this idea of not eating. And if you don't eat, your brain will literally work so much better. And that may sound kind of crazy. You're like, wait, what? That doesn't make sense. Because you have been scammed and been told by, I don't know, those breakfast companies, by cereal companies, that you need to eat 3 meals a day. You need to eat 6 small meals a day so that you're constantly digesting and that you always have brain fog. Your brain is going to be slower if you eat, if you're digesting. That's just a fact. You probably haven't experienced it because you might have been eating breakfast for most of your life. But if you actually tried it, you'll realize how powerful fasting is for improving the focus of your brain. The reason why is because when you're eating something, after you've eaten it and you start to digest, that's a very taxing process on your body. That takes away a lot of the energy that could be devoted to your brain. That energy gets devoted to your digestive system to digest and break down the food. Especially if you're eating some like carby, sugary bullshit, like cereal, like white bread and toast, like you're eating that shit, and it's giving you carb crashes, it's giving you like brain fog. Like, come on, bro. Like, obviously improve your diet, right? But just don't fucking eat food before you're supposed to study. If you're going to be studying in the morning, if you're going to, do well in school in the morning, don't eat breakfast. Don't eat breakfast. Genuinely, don't eat breakfast. I'm telling you this. This is not like eating disorders. This is not like any kind of thing. You're not gonna die. You're not gonna die if you don't eat breakfast. You might feel a bit hungry if you try it for the first while. That's true. You might feel hungry, but that's just because your body is used to eating breakfast. But soon enough, you're human and you can adapt to a new scenario. So you can change to your body can adapt to not eating breakfast. My body is completely used to it now. I can just deal with it, right? I don't have to worry about being too hungry. And the thing about hunger is simply just a feeling. Hunger is just a feeling, right? But does that mean you actually have to act on it, right? Like, if you're angry at someone, do you have to punch them in their face, right? Like, no, you can control yourself in some ways and, let it out afterwards, right? I'm not telling you to not eat food. I'm just telling you to not eat breakfast. Or at least, right, if you're going to wake up early and you're going to study, right, you're going to do that, which comes with a whole bunch of other benefits as well. If you're going to do that, just don't fucking eat food before you're supposed to study. Just don't do that. And you'll simply realize, like, wow, my brain actually works. This is what it's like to actually have a productive brain. To not have a constant brain fog from eating all the crappy food that I've been eating for 10 plus years or something like that. I'm not saying anything crazy. You can still eat. You can just eat later. Like, come on, like, are you really that susceptible to hunger? Like, hunger is literally a feeling that you can get used to, right? And the thing about hunger is, hunger will last maybe 10 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. And then afterwards, you'll realize it's just gone. You'll forget about it. If you actually start to get studying, start to actually get busy, you'll realize, oh yeah, I don't actually need to do it. I don't actually need to eat right now. Just eat a little bit later. Have breakfast later maybe. And then if you study in the morning where you're completely fasted, you realize how productive you are. The second thing which has really helped my focus so much is cutting out the distractions. Cutting out all these kind of distractions which are pulling me away from my studying, right? So for example, why do you have your phone next to you when you study? Come on, why do you have your phone next to you when you study? Think about it. Is it because, you're literally attached to this phone, that you have a psychological attachment that you probably do? You probably do, to be honest. But do you actually need this phone when you're studying? No, you don't. You don't need this phone on your study desk, right? Why are you trying to invite distractions, right? Why are you trying to put something and chain to yourself to not use it, right? That's so stupid. Why would you do that? Imagine you're basically like an alcoholic who's putting beers in front of him and saying, oh, no, I don't want to drink. No, I don't want to drink. You're basically an alcoholic. You're a drug addict in that scenario, right? So why are you putting your phone next to you? I remember when I used to do this, and I'll get like random notifications, and like I just like pick it up, and I'm like, oh yeah, let me go check this. That's stupid. That's genuinely so stupid. Like, why would you do that? You're inviting so much distraction when you have something more important to do, which is studying. You're supposed to be studying, right? This is your study time. Why are you doing it, right? You have to set up your environment, create an environment that's conducive to studying, which is why I recommend you to wake up early as well. Because when you wake up early, there's going to be less distractions around you. Less people aren't going to send you messages. People aren't going to ask you to play Minecraft at 6 a.m. Maybe your siblings, your family is not up, so they can't distract you as much. So if you wake up early, you can get a distraction-free environment. Also, setting up your desk so you don't have so much stuff to fidget with, to play with. Just have your laptop or have your devices here. Also, create a distraction-free digital environment as well. If you need the laptop, if you need a screen, turn it on to airplane mode so that you can't use the internet while you're supposed to be studying. Like install these kind of blockers to your browser so that you can't easily access, YouTube while you're supposed to be studying. Do all of these things so that you can't easily distract yourself. Because, obviously I still get tempted, right? I still get tempted, but I've set up these barriers, these little bits of friction, which basically annoy me, right? Like I have to turn off the blocker, right? And, it's just annoying for me to do that. So I'm way less likely to actually go browse and scroll on YouTube and waste so much time on this kind of bullshit, right? Like turn off your notifications especially as well. This will happen if you have flight mode on, but turn off your notifications as well. You don't need to reply to those messages. You're not that busy. Let's be real. You're not that busy. Like those messages can wait like 2 hours, right? Like, come on. Study first and do the more important thing before you can reply to those messages. You don't need those notifications on. You don't need that buzz, right? You don't need more distractions in your life that you need to resist. It's taking away your attention from your studying and it's causing you to become distracted easily, right? If we think about the alcoholic metaphor, right? You putting like a phone in front of you, that's basically you as an alcoholic putting like vodka in front of you, right? You having notifications on is basically like having a guy continually ask you, hey mate, do you want some beers? Hey mate, do you want a shot? You want a drink? Hey, do you want some, bro? Like this is basically what's happening, right? It's basically inviting you more distraction, and you do not need that. You probably already have a bad attention span from using the internet for years. You do not need more distraction in your life, so just cut it out, take it out, and clean up your environment, clean up your desk so that you just have the study papers, the study material in front of you. You just have the past paper right here. Your environment and everything else is so incredibly important. I talk a lot more about this in the course below. Have a look at that, top link in the description below. But additionally, with the environment, try create a study space, right? Try create a separate space for you, a separate space away from your desk, or try clean up and reset your desk so that you know that you're in work mode now. You don't want to try and mix work and play together, right? You don't want to work on your gaming PC, right? Like you're going to be tempted to game there, right? So like try create like a different space, try move to a different room, or actually create a study space for yourself or study in the library so that you know that this is a study space. This is where you work. This is not a place for you to scroll on your phone. This is where you work. Another way which has helped me become super productive is timetabling and planning. This is this idea of reducing uncertainty as much as possible. A lot of the reason why we procrastinate is because of the fact that we don't really know what we're doing. We don't know like, oh, what should I study? When should I study? We don't have definite plans. And there's this ambiguous big task like, oh, I got to study for my exams. And you haven't set out defined steps to actually start to achieve that goal, to start to achieve that getting my dream results. I think I want to get an A star in my A levels. But then you're like, I don't actually know what to do, and I don't know, maybe I'll focus on it tomorrow, right? That's what you always think. I'll just do it tomorrow. I'll start tomorrow. The way to actually start is to create these plans and make it as specific as possible. You have to think, what do I need to do? So what do you need to do? You need to study. So what do you need to study? Well, you need to study past papers, right? Do past papers. So tomorrow at 7 a.m., you're going to study this past paper at this location, right? Make it as specific as possible. The best way to plan is to make it as specific as possible. Instead of thinking, oh yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna study AS Physics tomorrow. Yeah, I'm gonna study that tomorrow. Yeah. Well, what you could actually do is create a specific plan. Tomorrow at 7 a.m., I'm gonna study this 2019 past paper for AS Physics at this location, at my house, in my study area, or maybe at the library. Make it as specific as possible so that you don't have to make all these decisions, and you don't have this cloud of uncertainty around you. Because if you've just given yourself some specific steps to do, you're way more likely to actually do it, right? So you don't have to make all these little decisions, all this little friction that you have to study, right? Because you have to think, oh, when should I study? What time should I study? If you have all these decisions you have to make, you're not going to study. That's the truth. You're wasting all your brain power on thinking, when should I study? On thinking, oh, what time should I study? What should I study? Instead of actually focusing your brain power on doing the study itself. Save your brain power on the actual study itself and plan what you're going to do. Plan it and make it as specific as possible. If you start to do this kind of planning where you plan what you're going to do tomorrow, every night you start to think, you create a task list or a kind of plan that you can do on Google Calendar. Eventually you'll start to realize that all of your days seem kind of similar. So you can start to create a routine, start to develop a routine. These are especially good when you have school, or you have like an exam period, that's exam study period, where you can create your own timetable, right? So you need to create your own timetable for yourself. You need to create a routine for yourself so that you can easily get into this flow of studying, right? For example, for me, I have my morning routine. I do some meditation, do some gratitude, do some, have some coffee, right? And then I go to my work desk and then I start work, right? I know that every single day, because I have this routine, every single day I can get into this work mood. I don't have to think like, oh yeah, maybe I'll work today, I'll work tomorrow. I will start working because of this routine, because I've been doing this for a while now, right? I've been doing this for like a couple months now. I've been doing the same routine for a couple months now. And because of that, I immediately start working, right? I get onto the task, right? It's because of the fact that I do the same steps every single day that gets me into this work mode, right? Into this work mode. And I've planned what tasks I want to do the day before. So I start work because of this routine. And so I have a consistent wake up time, pretty consistent bedtime as well. So if you create that kind of consistency, we do the same kind of things every morning. You start studying every morning. You have a similar kind of bedtime. This will mean that you'll automatically start to get into the flow of things, and doing the hard task, doing the studying, it'll become way easier because it's just part of your routine. You just know that, yeah, at 7, I just start studying for an hour. Yeah, like at 5 o'clock, I just do some studying at then, right? Like I go to the library every day at 5 to go study, right? If you do it every day, it will be so easy for you to do it automatically. Another big thing that I'm sure a lot of teenagers, honestly, a lot of young people, they really neglect is their sleep. You don't sleep enough. And that's probably just a fact, right? You do not sleep enough. You think like, oh yeah, I spend 7 hours in bed, I sleep a lot, right? I sleep for 7 hours every day. You don't sleep enough. That's just a fact, because, you're not asleep the entire time when you're in bed as well, right? But also you're probably a teenager, you're a young person, so you actually need more sleep than you realize as well. So you're chronically sleep deprived. You're chronically sleep deprived, and that's affecting your health, but it's also affecting your focus as well. Just because you're used to it and that, everyone else is sleep deprived doesn't mean it's good for you, that it's, it's healthy, right? You can brag and say, oh yeah, I only got 3 hours of sleep last night, like an idiot, right? You can brag about that like an idiot. Or you can actually start to fix your life and actually start to go to bed earlier and stop wasting so much time playing those video games. Actually go to bed earlier and have your brain work better, right? If you're trying to study and you're sleep deprived and you're groggy and you're falling asleep halfway through, that's not effective at all, right? That doesn't help you at all. You should sleep more. And genuinely, this is my belief, right? This is completely my belief. I don't think it's ever worth it to sacrifice like a lot of sleep. I don't think it's ever worth it to really sacrifice sleep for your studying. If you ever have to do that and you have an assignment due at 12 and you got to do it, you got to pull an all-nighter, you should just reflect on yourself and think, Like, what actually happened, right? Like, what led me to this point? Like, you actually really need to do some self-reflection to think, like, why is my time management so bad? You need to implement some of these strategies that I do and start creating a routine for yourself and a timetable where you do go to bed early and you actually do study, where you do the study and you do the work and you're fasted so you can actually do the work better. You should really reflect on yourself, because I've never pulled an all-nighter, because I know the value of sleep, right? I recognize how much worse my day is if I don't sleep enough. I recognize that my brain is like, it's like 30% as fast, right? It's like me becoming like kind of disabled, right? Like it's basically me disabling myself, right? I'll just doze off in class, right? I know that that's really bad for me and that it's not going to be effective. If you just slept 2 more hours, then the rest of your day would be so much better, and you'll be able to accomplish twice as much in your study sessions than if you pulled an all-nighter, right? Because all-nighters are kind of stupid. They're not effective at all. You're spending all this time, but half of the time you're just groggy and not even you're tired as well. I genuinely think pulling an all-nighter is so stupid unless you're truly cooked, right? You truly have no hope. Sure, pull an all-nighter then, but if you're at the point where you have to pull an all-nighter, then you need to reflect on yourself. You have to think like, this is terrible. This is not a good thing. Like it's not a good thing that you're doing this, right? It's really not. If you're at the point where you need to pull all-nighters, then you're truly kind of cooked. Just watch my course, honestly. Just get my course. Like it'll give you like a step-by-step tutorial on how to do everything, how to fix your life for studying. Yeah, genuinely, you have to realize that this is so bad for you. Genuinely, you have to realize this is affecting your health. It's affecting your brain. It's so bad for you, and it's not worth it. I genuinely think it's not worth it, okay? Also, some other random study tips. Caffeine, right? Caffeine, this is something you have to be a little bit more careful about so it doesn't interrupt your sleep, right? Don't drink caffeine after like 3 p.m. obviously. Just experiment with yourself and realize that, like, you might be more sensitive to caffeine maybe, because I'm actually pretty sensitive to caffeine. And if I drink coffee after like 2, right? Or maybe honestly even like 1, I'm going to interrupt my sleep, and that's going to make my sleep a lot worse. So just experiment with that, but be more careful with that. And especially if you're drinking caffeine, remember to drink more water. I have a water bottle here. It's fucking empty, but I drink more water because like caffeine really dehydrates you. You're really susceptible to getting like dehydration headaches and all that kind of stuff that will make you less effective because of caffeine and dehydration. And caffeine really makes you dehydrated. So remember to drink some water, right? Remember to drink some water. So those are the main kind of tips which I think have helped me the most, which have helped me study effectively without having to study 12 hours a day. It gives me time to do everything else that I want to do. This timetabling stuff has helped me have time for studying really hard, but also building my dream body, hanging out with friends. This productivity stuff isn't like about grinding and like, working super hard and just being super disciplined. It's also about living a good life as well. There is a lot of discipline in this, especially it'll be hard to implement it, right? But if you manage to implement it, you realize that you actually get a lot more enjoyment out of this, right? I actually enjoy waking up early and working hard. You know that, right? I enjoy going to bed early because I feel well rested, right? How can I be sad if I have time for the gym, if I have time for studying and the gym and my friends, and I sleep well as well? Like, how can I be sad, right? How can I like hate my life, right? Like, my life is good right now because I'm managing everything, because I can also be super productive thanks to a lot of these techniques as well. These are the techniques which have helped me so much, which I hope you can implement. Start to do them, and I'm sure you're going to get those dream results that you've always wanted. If you'd want some extra help and you thought this video was good, have a look at the top link in the description below. Have a look at that. I can help you even more in there. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Try some of these techniques out. See you later. Bye-bye.